So welcome everyone to hear this. All right. Let's see. Looks like it's going. So we're just getting things gathered up here for the we're gonna make a few talks. Telescope open up. Right. Mobile here at some point in time. That'll go. That'll go. Under this. Okay. And then you just pass that to me when it's my turn, and I'll pass it. Now, right now, so we are live streaming it. Just kind of show everybody the gag. Probably. Okay. We'll wait until they're all doing the most important thing to do when you get off the bus after a 2-hour ride. The roof open, it does. That's after the photos. So yes. Do you know? Okay. Yes.
Okay, it looks like we've got just about everyone here. So let's get started. I'm Ed Foley. I'm the president of the Tucson Amateur Astronomy Association. I want to welcome you here to the Chiricahua Astronomy Complex, where we're going to introduce the latest addition to our portfolio of telescopes, a new, for us, 32-inch research grade telescope that has got, I think, a very interesting future here at the site. It is not the largest telescope uh, if you are counting by glass, but it is, when it will be fully commissioned, the most accurate telescope to be able to find and track things in the sky. And you will see as the evening goes on how smooth this 2 tons of instrument goes across the sky. It is a wonder to watch. It is a wonder that it is here, though, because it has had quite a history in the last 2 years. 2 years ago, we got a call from a company called Arete Associates. They're a defense contractor, and they were moving facilities and had a spare telescope that they wanted to donate to us. And we always look at donations, and we get lots of donations. Then they started to describe this thing, and it was 2 tons. And we had to pick it up in the next 2 weeks. So we scrambled, and in June of 23, a whole bunch of TAAA mobilized, and we had volunteers pay their own way to go to Colorado to get this telescope disassembled, to get it loaded on trucks, and to bring it and the dome that we had to take with it. Now, they donated a telescope and a dome. The dome fit the telescope. I mean, the telescope could fit in it, but we can only get 1 or 2 people in it, which doesn't work for us. We've got to be able to have, members and guests and school kids all get in the room with it. So uh, we ended up selling that dome, but we had to bring it. So it was quite an effort. But TAAA, we have, if you can say anything about TAAA, we've got volunteers, and they do extraordinary things. We had a group bring it down to Cochise County. We had a member who agreed to store it, and he ended up storing it for 2 years. We had to unload 2 tons, and we didn't have the same equipment that we had in Colorado to unload it. So a neighbor volunteered, uh, uh, Jim and Ruth Graham next door, that run a vineyard. They came over with their equipment, and we loaded it in the barn, and it waited while we then had other volunteers who designed a new home for it. And that home is an extraordinary building, as you'll see tonight. It fits well. We got plenty of room for not this many people, but we've got room to operate. And uh, we had to reassemble it. We reassembled it with the help of our volunteers here and a new volunteer, a fellow named Tom Melsheimer, who has made his career assembling professional telescopes. Uh, he helped us disassemble it in Colorado as a consultant, but he heard the story of TAAA and what we do and how active we are in the community. And he agreed to come here to Cochise County and help us reassemble it as a volunteer. He has since become a member, and without Tom, this couldn't have been done. His expertise was invaluable to get this accomplished. Now, since then, we've got other members who have learned the ins and outs of big telescopes, and uh, God forbid we ever have to move it again. We might be able to do it. So it's been a wonderful adventure of of folks pitching in to get this accomplished, and I'm going to read their names. Uh, it's a long list. Bear with me, but it's worth you hearing who these folks were. Uh, the first name on the list is Bob Rose, and I'm going to make the second name on the list Larry Stepp, because these two guys are the ones basically who designed the building. Larry did the machining for lots of the apparatus in here, and we'll point that out as you go in. There's just some wonderful work that Larry has done. Those two guys became the apprentices of Tom Melchheimer, and I hope you guys pay attention. If anything needs to happen in this telescope, these are the two guys we're going to rely on to remove the mirror or do whatever we need to do with that telescope in the future. So, big hand for those two. Where's Larry? There's Larry. We had many other volunteers helping him, and I'll read through the rest of them. Bob Reynolds, Dan Chin, those two live in Texas. They came here and have helped a number of times. Jim Knoll, Susan Knoll, Doug Summers came from Icon, New Mexico. Uh, Christian Dan Weefern, Jim's sister and brother, housed us when we were in Colorado. Robert Henze, who stored this for 2 years. Dave Evans, myself, I supervised a lot. Mike McDowell, Tom Melchheimer, of course, our new member and our expert on assembling these. Tom Rothsmeyer, Doug Smith, Bernie Stinger. He was out here helping in the summer in June. That was a heck of a hot day, wasn't it? 104, I think it was. We were bringing the pieces in here. And Phil Yelly came out to help us as well. I hope I didn't forget anybody. There have been a lot of folks that have pitched in. It's been just a great thing to watch, folks pitching in to make this happen. Now, not everyone can volunteer, but there are many others who helped made this happen, because we got a free telescope, but it didn't come with an observatory. So we had to raise the money for the observatory. And there's the list of the donors. Again, our members pitching in, it is amazing how this organization turns out to make things happen. Again, I'm going to read you the list. It's just wonderful how many folks have pitched in to make this happen. Lisa Andre, Arate Associates, Suzanne Bailey, Dan Chin, Angela DeMeo, DFM Engineering. That's the manufacturer of the telescope. They, since hearing our story, learning about us begging them, they've donated tools, various appliances that we've needed, software. They've been really good to us. Janet and myself, Alan Fraisch, General Dynamics Mission Systems has supported us in a number of efforts, including this one. Tim Hunter, Gerald Hodge, Joanna Johnson, Ralph Jensen, Jim and Susan Knoll, Paul Koss, Terry Lappin, Joe Metzger, John Montgomery, Tom Melshire. Tom Melsheimer donated both money and his time. Thomas O'Keefe, my assistant here. Hello. No, it's right there. Okay. Sarah O'Neill, Mark and Lori Ovek, Julia Rosen, Greg Ruppel, Jeff Rothstein, David Rossiter, Joseph Rabinowitz, Robert Reynolds, Therese Foley Smith, Bernie Stinger, the Steiner Trust, the estate of John Sewell, Jane Winky, Paul Wheeler, Phil Yaley. Those folks all donated funds for this. We also had a request out for individuals to donate some optics, and Mike McDowell and Chris Fold both donated eyepieces that we'll be using tonight to observe. So a long list, a lot of folks helping to make it happen. And without further ado, or microphone, let's move on now. We've got a couple of things we want to accomplish. Jim, did you want to say some things? Do you want the?
Yeah, what you have in there? I've got one here. I'm just gonna talk really loud. We'll see if we can find a 9-volt battery. It looks like Joe's got one, so we'll replace that.
my father and by naming it after, you'll see the B in the letters, G, but, for my father, Bob. So it's a, it's, served in the Second World War in the Philippines as a medic, and then came back and practiced in the area. Yeah, you get your feet there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. We built circuits and uh, in those days. I learned electronics that way. That turned out to be my profession for my class. My brother Glenn was also adopted in the early. He also had apprenticed in Minneapolis. And he not only was a doctor, but he was also into technology. And technology back then, uh, technology back then was ultraviolet and X-rays and gamma rays. They were just big warriors, and lots of gadgets with gamma rays, and not just for the gamma rays, X-rays and ultraviolet. So, he had one very X-ray machines, private X-ray machines in the state of Minnesota. He actually, I still regret him spending it in evening. So X-rays and bands. Great big chunk of lead was and I made a career in the name of the new scope. So and I also wanted to thank, by the way, Ed. Ed thanked everybody else, but I want to thank Ed because Ed was the glue that held everybody together and made this come together as well. And I think we need a round of applause for Ed wherever he is.
Okay, with that, I think it's time to unveil the sign. Do the honors. You got to tape it up really well because of our way. So it's gonna take a little while to get it fun tape. Live stream, I think we have the audio cut off. There we go. There we go. What I'd like to do is have everybody over on this side up against the brick. And we're going to this area of photos and.
Okay.
All right, now what we're gonna do is I'll just kind of want to move away from the ribbon a little bit, turn around.
All right, so open up the door. I'm gonna get in here and let video coming in. We are inside the observatory. Got a lot of clouds here, so how well there might be a few holes up there. Again, between the wind and I was using my phone as a camera, so I think the muted a couple of times, so that's why we lost audio on YouTube. So at least I saw some good pictures, and if I have to, I'll narrate it afterwards. You can come back in a week or so and watch the edited version. More like rain, so we may have to forego any observing tonight, unfortunately, but uh, we will be operating this telescope for CAC members. We will be operating it probably on CAC weekends, so definitely come on out. You can observe through it, and we'll be using it for our public evening under the stars as well. Wish we'd had better weather so we could really showcase what this telescope can do, but have about probably about 70 people out here for this, so that was good. Had a bus come out with bringing some. So this is just kind of a view of the site before we lose the daylight. Got some member observatories that they can lease over there. RV, we have 7 RV spots for members to use when they come out. 10 camping area, 10 rooms in these buildings right here, plus a classroom. So we bring student groups and youth groups out and do some astronomy out here, and we'll be able to showcase and use this telescope for them as well. In these sheds right over here, we have a couple of celestrons, a mead, and an 18-inch station in there. Our big 40-inch telescope and 9-inch telescope is over by the Reynolds Mitchell Observatory. And some storage containers. That roll-off roof in the distance is the Wally Rogers Observatory, and we're going to build another one just like it right next to it. So that'll be the next main addition to this. We also have 10 pads that members can use, plus another 10 that members can lease and have priority on. And so they can bring out. They all have electricity. The RV sites have electricity. See some lightning. I think we're going to be probably cutting this a little bit on the short side, but fall we can do the dedication. So this is just kind of the view of the site. We're starting to lose the light. There's the telescope again. So again, I'll check out the live stream and try to do some editing if I can and add some verbiage to it. So if this did actually get the audio, it sounded like I cut out a couple of times. So if that's the case, by all means, please check back in a week or so, and I'll try to get an edited version up there. So with that, I think we'll just walk in here real quick. I'll show you the classroom and one of our sleeping rooms. So here's our classroom. And that's pretty simple, but members have to bring their own in and everything, but it's a nice heated or air conditioned room. All right, so with that, I will stop the stream. Appreciate you guys doing. Hopefully this worked out pretty well, but again, we're kind of doing this on the fly and the weather really didn't help us much tonight. Hopefully you got a chance to see this, and if you're a teacher or play member, definitely come out and do some observing, and we'll go from there. So thanks everybody for attending, and we'll talk to you later. Yes.